Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's second video doing the GWV extended forecast for today's second video for the UK and for the rest of Europe too. So this is your Tuesday extended European outlook, and I shall get on with that for you in a moment. Just to say that the first video today was our 6 AM upload. And we've also got the 10 to 14 day and Terry Scully's November forecast coming up for you later on today. Please like, share, subscribe on videos, and thank you so very much everyone for doing that. Right, so we're going to start off with the week 1 mean sea pressure anomaly for Europe. It's taking us through the week that we're currently in, the 31st of October to the 7th of November. The coming week we'll have low pressure, or this week I should say, we'll have low pressure in the Atlantic and into West Europe as well, with the high pressure trying to get going in the far northeast Europe, but low pressure basically dominating much of northern Europe. High pressure though is in the south and in the southwest, and that's going to keep the wind in from a mild west-southwesterly direction into most parts of Europe. The 500 millibar height anomaly from the Arctic the North Pole view down looks like that, with below average heights in the Atlantic and into West Europe as well, above average heights across southern and also some eastern parts of Europe, winds coming in from off the Atlantic. So here's how the temperature is looking today. Very mild across much of Europe this week. We have got the core of the warmth from Scandinavia down towards Greece, so this sort of northern eastern portion of Europe, that's where the warmest swathe of temperatures is. Not as quite as warm as that in the west, but even so, still above average by about 1 to 3 degrees. Down in the Mediterranean, most places looking very mild there as well, if not warm. Just got sort of Portugal and the far north of Spain that look a little bit cooler. I mean, to the extreme northeast of Europe, from the northwest of Russia down towards the Black Sea, it's a little bit cooler through there, but most places are looking very mild, if not warm this week. Wet across the northwest of Europe, so for Ireland, the UK, northern parts of France, the Low Countries, Belgium, Holland, Netherlands, and also up into southern portions of Scandinavia, so at Denmark, southern Sweden and Norway. Looking wetter than average through there. It turns a bit drier than across the bar north of Scandinavia. Much of eastern Europe looking a little bit drier as well, as does the northeast of Europe around those Baltic Sea states of Latvia, Estonia, and Lithuania. And then down to Mediterranean, most parts of the central and western portion of the Med looking very dry. It is a little bit more showery across that eastern portion of the Med, particularly around the Greek islands. Right, that's week 1 done. Let's have a look at week 2. This is the 7th to the 14th of November. And it's still looking unsettled, really, with plenty of low pressure across northern Europe and into the North Atlantic. High pressure is to the south and southwest. Winds are coming in from off the Atlantic in that sort of westerly, southwesterly direction. The 500 millibar height anomaly for week 2. Showing this up very nicely. Below average heights to the north of Europe, above average heights across many western, southwestern parts of Europe. And again, we bring up the winds from those very mild west or southwesterly directions. Temperature anomalies for week 2 look really mild across most parts of Europe. It is a little bit cooler in this far southeastern corner from the Black Sea down towards Greece and Turkey. A little bit cooler there. But otherwise, it's a sea of orange or red, so significantly above average temperatures continue, especially again for much of northern Europe. The warmest swathe of temperatures is actually pushing westwards, though, back towards Germany, into France and the Low Countries and whatnot. A very, very mild week to come there, again, across most parts of Europe. The Mediterranean, away from Greece and Turkey, looking really mild as well. And the precipitation anomaly still looks quite unsettled across much of northern Europe, so from Ireland and the UK in the west over towards the northwest of Russia, and particularly these areas in between, so like Denmark, northern parts of Germany, the Baltic Sea states, southern Scandinavia in particular. Yeah, those areas looking really quite wet. Southern Europe looks significantly drier, from like southern Spain, from southern France, I should say, southwards, generally dry through most parts of the Med. Italy, the Mediterranean islands in the Central Bowl, looking pretty dry. It looks relatively dry towards Greece as well. Maybe Turkey will be a little bit more unsettled. Unless there's any changes for week 3, this will be the 14th to 21st of November. So we've got high pressure towards the southwest of Europe, maybe trying to pull out into the Atlantic a little bit. Lower pressure towards Scandinavia. Could that start to be sending the jet stream on a bit of a northwest-southeast alignment? Let's put in a question mark and have a look at the 500 millibar height anomaly, which looks like that. So broadly still the same, really. Below average heights in the North Atlantic to Northern Europe, above average heights across much of southern and southwestern Europe, and winds again remain from that westerly direction. The temperature anomaly is still above average, not quite as much so in the third week as it is in weeks 1 and 2, but nevertheless still significantly above average, and the reduction might just be because it's a bit further out, so the signal is slightly weaker. Generally above average temperatures all the way from the west, from Portugal and Ireland, right way to the Black Sea in the east. Another mild week to come. Precipitation wise, the signal is weakening as it always does the further out we go, but generally it's above average for northern parts of Europe still, and drier than average for the south and for the southwest of Europe. Week 4 will be the 21st to the 28th of November. Signs of a bit of a change perhaps now. High pressure beginning to appear in the North Atlantic and starting to reach towards Western Europe as well. It is quite a weakish signal though. The 500 millibar height anomaly looks like that. Above average heights looking as though they're starting to build northwards. Could that be getting things a little bit drier and colder across northern and western Europe? What about the temperature anomaly? So still a little bit above average in most areas, especially Scandinavia and like southern Europe, or otherwise it's average or no signal. But clearly there is something going on there. It's nowhere near as strong a warm, mild signal for week 4 as it is for weeks 1, 2 and 3. So there might be a little bit of a cool down starting to take place across Europe there. Under that area of high pressure, of course, you would expect from gruesome to some frost and fog. And maybe hinting at being a little bit on the drier side as well. Although it is a very, very weak signal, I have to say, by that point. Right, so that's your 30-day look ahead done. But let's go through weeks 1 and 6 data before we go, because why not? This is week 5, mean sea pressure anomaly, 28th of November to 5th of December. So a very weak signal. High pressure goes over towards the eastern side of Europe. You would think that's probably drawing up mild air from the south across the east of Europe. Low pressure down here. And then what's happening across northern and western Europe? Let's put in a couple of question marks. Have a look at the 500 millibar height anomaly. That seems to suggest high-ish pressure is still dominating across much of Europe there. The temperature anomaly actually goes a bit milder again, the end of November into December, especially across northern Europe, but also to some degree across southern Europe too. Eastern Europe looks a little bit on the cool side, where I would have thought would be drawing up southerly winds, so the far eastern portion of Europe. There it does actually look a little bit cooler than average, and the precipitation anomaly looks like that. So a little bit wetter for Scandinavia, dry from UK, Ireland and France over towards the Black Sea, and then wetter down across southern Europe. And then lastly, week 6 will be the 5th to the 12th of December. That's how it looks. So maybe hinting on a little bit of high pressure towards Scandinavia. Otherwise, the signal is very, very, very weak now. The 500 millibar height anomaly just seemed to be suggesting some sort of area of above average heights dominating across much of the North Atlantic and into Western Europe. The temperature anomaly, a little bit above average for far Western Europe, otherwise no signal. Precipitation anomaly, again very weak signals. You can see it's a little bit drier though through here. That might be indicating a little bit of blocking. But it is 6 weeks away. It's a long way out, so I don't think we ought to get too excited about that. Right, so that's your 30-day look ahead for Europe for this week. If you enjoyed the video, please can you like, share and subscribe, and we'll do it all over again next week. Remember, any forecast beyond 5-7 days comes with big health warnings and large pictures of salt attached. So just a snapshot of what this model is showing this week. It could look different when we look at it again next week. We will have a look at this model actually on Saturday morning with focus just on Ireland and the UK, and we always have a little bit of a laugh with that one. Well, you enjoy what's left of your Tuesday morning. We're going to be back shortly with the 10 to 14 day and then this evening Terry Scully's November forecast, so I shall see you for that. But for this one, that's all for now, and thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.